Ernesto Guevara, famously known as Che Guevara, born 1929 in Rosario, Argentina. Che Guevara was the eldest son of his parents, and by profession he was a physician, but in his free times he spent time in his family library studying the literature of communism. He was very inspired by the writings of Karl Marx and studied his books. It was the time when the globe was divided into two camps, capitalist and communist. Third world countries, poor countries' youth were very inspired by ideologies and slogans of communism, and they always blamed capitalist class or countries for exploitation of poor countries and labor class. Ernesto Guevara was one of them who was inspired by the global communist trend. Ernesto also loves traveling. During his journey to Latin America, he observed how people are struggling in poverty, bad health conditions, and lacks the basic necessities of life. He met Fidel Castro. In their first meeting, they inspired from each other and became friends due to common ideologies. Castro was also inspired by communism and was struggling revolutionary in Cuba. The title of Che was given by his friend Castro. The both friends were arrested in Mexico and released later. After release, Castro and Che prepared themselves and their guerrillas to fight against Cuban government. And finally, they succeed to overthrow Cuban government and took political and military control of the country. U.S. opposed the Castro and carried out many efforts to minus Castro but failed. After Castro took the charges of prime minister of the country, he appointed Che Guevara president of National Bank and later Industrial Ministry. But Che didn't want a luxury life. He loved like a common man, and after the political stability in Cuba, he moved to various South American and African countries to help their public to attain self-determination. Unfortunately, when he was fighting against Bolivian military, the CIA and Bolivia collectively did effort to detain him. Finally, he was arrested and later killed and buried in a secret place. The Cuban government paid highest tribute to his revolutionary hero on his death, and some historians also thought that Castro was involved in murder of Che Guevara in Bolivia. Dr. Ernesto Che Guevara, he is still remembered as a terrorist in the USA and other capitalist states, but to the poor, deprived and oppressed nation, he is symbol of resistance and a hero.